I'm Jen of All Trades, and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about astrology again, and today's sign we're going to talk about is Aquarius. This is an interesting sign for me, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But, well, first of all, it's my moon sign, so I can see some of these traits in myself as well. But again, we'll talk about that later. So Aquarius goes from about the middle of January to the middle of February. Because February is such a short month, different calendars will say different things about the dates exactly. But what I have written down is January 22nd to February 21st. But that can vary based on the calendar. So just, be aware of that. So your duality is masculine, you're outer directed and strong through action. Your triplicity or element is air, which means you're intellectual and communicative. And your quality is fixed, which basically says that you are resistant to change and you're perfecters and finishers, not necessarily like the starters. Resistant to change will come into play a lot with you guys, and you'll see. Your most likable trait is friendliness. So Aquariuses are just so friendly and always willing to help and genuine, very genuine people. You are also very assertive and progressive and analytical, all at the same time. So it's been said that you guys are kind of a paradox where you're progressive, but also very fixed in your ideas. So you're like, yay, new things, but wait, old things too. But you're also very analytical, so that's what keeps you not willing to let go of what you believe just yet. You need to analyze everything. Independent, original, and inventive. So a lot of Aquarians feel very creative and wants to start projects. We'll get there. We'll come back to that. You have very strong dislikes and very firm opinions, and that's back to that fixed quality. If you feel something, you feel it 100%. If you believe something, you believe it 100%. And it's kind of hard to take an Aquarius away from their beliefs, even though they're very analytical and even though they're progressive, they're very set on what they think. So you are idealistic and you're concerned with the larger issues in the world and maybe not so attached and in it 100% in your personal relationships. You are always thinking about the world as a whole and not necessarily about your micro community, the relationship that you're in or the friend community that you have. You're like, you see the world as the big picture. And you're unorthodox and original, and you like it that way. You love being different. You thrive on it. You can refuse to compromise. Back to this fixed thing. It kind of goes back and forth, and it keeps mentioning the fact that you guys don't really like to compromise. You don't like to compromise or change your mind, but that's dependent on certain topics. Like an Aquarius would be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll totally change my mind about this, but then somebody asks them about like a certain coffee flavor and they're dead set, absolutely not, I'm never changing my mind, hazelnut is the way to go, get your pumpkin spice away from me, or whatever, or vice versa, or whatever it is. So can refuse to compromise, but it varies from topic to topic on whether or not they refuse to compromise. Very enigmatic sign. Speaking of enigmatic, you enjoy company, but you're content to be alone at the same time. I have all my notes written out so I don't forget anything. There's a lot of signs and a lot of things to remember. So yeah, you like company. You like being around other people, but you're also totally content to be alone. So it's kind of this and that at the same time. You are outgoing, yet reserved. Again, it's that you have kind of a duality to you, but you're not a Gemini. It's very odd. But yeah, you're really outgoing and you love people, but you're also kind of reserved and shy almost. Maybe not shy, but more like, all right, I'm just gonna stay back here. That kind of thing. You are a communicator. You're the idea guy. You're the idea person. And you love to communicate about your ideas. You want to tell everybody about your ideas, but you're also a little reserved about telling people your ideas because you want to make sure that they stay your ideas, if that makes sense. You have the ability to judge objectively, and that brings us back to the analytical mind. You can judge anything objectively. You can remove yourself from personal ties and personal biases and judge something without any influence whatsoever. That's great. I could actually use that in my life. So maybe y'all should be like dance competition judges or something. Somebody impartial should do that. Your ego is invested in your opinions, though, and this is also a Gemini trait. Even this book said so. It's also a Gemini trait, which means if someone disagrees with your opinion, you tend to take it personally. You can see it as a personal attack, like, oh no, this person thinks but no, they just disagreed with what you were saying. So it's not that bad, but yeah, they disagreed with what you were saying. So yeah, you have a talent for making people laugh, and your humor comes very naturally. It could be something that you do, something that you say, something that you don't say. So yeah, you are always yourself. No matter what, you are you. And it's part of that, a lot of this goes back to certain things. This is part of that always wanting to be different, wanting to be unique, wanting to be authentic. You're always authentically you. You need independence even at the expense of your relationship. Yeah, so your need for freedom and independence, as an air sign, that's normal. But you tend to need it so badly, you could actually detach yourself from other people if you feel like they are infringing on your independence. And Aquarius is not good in a relationship where jealousy is a thing, where possessiveness is a thing. You need the freedom to do what you want, when you want it, and come up with your ideas, and the freedom to not see your ideas through. That's another thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be person to person. It could be the freedom to, oh, I have this great idea. I wrote out all these ideas, and not have anyone force you to do it. You have the freedom to create the idea and let it sit in a notebook. You want that freedom. And that's an Aquarius thing. To create an idea, and it just sits in a notebook. You're not going to finish it. We'll get there. And then I will give you a real life example. A very odd real life example. You cannot be forced or tied down. No one can force you to do anything. No one can tie you down. You can't be fenced in either. You do not like being fenced in. You don't like feeling that you don't have a lot of space. And that can be physical space, or it could be just like proverbial space. You need the ability to be you. And the minute that somebody tries to hinder that, you tend to want to just run the other way. You're a schemer, but not a doer. There's that sitting in a notebook. So a schemer, but not a doer. You love to create the idea. You love to map out the whole plan. You'll have notebooks filled with all these really cool ideas. But Aquariuses are not really interested in doing the hard work. And I'm not saying that you're not willing to do hard work, like you're not willing to go to work and do your job. I'm just saying you're not really interested in starting the project A to B to C to D. You just come up with the idea and you want it to be started. You don't feel like going through the hard work that goes from idea to success. And that's why Aquariuses are really good as part of a team. A team of somebody like Aquarian should be a team with like a Capricorn, because Capricorns get stuff done. So honestly, a Capricorn and an Aquarian would be unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. Aquariuses are like ideas. And then Capricorns are like lists. And the Gemini over here is going, that sounds really cool. I want in too. And then they halfway do everything. But we'll get to Gemini in a couple videos. But yeah, schemer, not a doer. And you want the freedom to just be a schemer. You don't want someone to sit there and say, no, you have to do it. You'll go, I don't have to do anything. So now I won't do it because I don't have to do anything. That's Aquarius. So my best friend is actually a Virgo, but his moon was 97% full when he was born. And that comes into play like this. He does not act like a Virgo at all. Like there's no personality trait in him that's Virgo except the need to be really studious and a good worker. He needs to be just almost praised for his meticulousness and hard work when it comes to that. But he's not organized. No, not at all. There's just a lot about him that's not really Virgo-ish. And I said, you know what? You just really seem like an Aquarius. I don't know what it is, but you seem like an Aquarius. What's your moon sign? It's Aquarius. And it was 97% full, which basically means that most of his personality is going to be reflected in the moon sign. It took me a long time to figure that out, that the fullness of the moon can really affect that. So here's my best friend, Sean. You guys all know Sean. He is the idea guy. He has notebooks filled with ideas, and they are good ideas. They're detailed ideas. But he doesn't do anything about it. He never, ever does it. That's why he and I are a really good team, because a Gemini is also an idea person, but we're also a, listen, I know we want to have 70 projects, but we're going to at least try to get these done. We at least start the project. And so between the two of us, we've been able to get our projects rolling. And Aquarius, kind of without any other sign to push them, but a Gemini is the perfect pusher, because we're not going to make the Aquarius do it. We're going to say, let's do it together. I'll do the legwork. You keep working on the ideas, but also do a little legwork. And the Aquarius is like, okay, I can handle that. So it's the perfect team. But Aquariuses really need that other person there to say, hey, great idea. Let's do it. And then things actually get done. And that's the story of how Jen and Sean can actually get anything done. Because otherwise, I would have too many ideas and no one to help me focus them. And he would have a whole bunch of ideas and no one to actually start doing them. So that's Aquarius. Really, it's just that need to create, but not necessarily to see it through. Also, you love conspiracy theories. Aquariuses love conspiracy theories. I don't know what it is. If somebody says that there might be aliens, Aquariuses are like, really? Aliens? Or it doesn't even have to be like that. You know, this person at work, they were given that job because, not because of their work, but because of, and then you're like, what? Really? A conspiracy theory of that level or of like aliens level? I mean, it doesn't matter. Any kind of conspiracy theory, y'all are all about it. You want to know everything. I love that. And then just last couple of traits, you're easygoing, slow to take offense, and very helpful. So you're just really genuine people, and it doesn't take a lot to, actually, no, you're very genuine people, and it does take a lot. That's what I meant. It does take a lot to really ruffle your feathers. You don't take offense very easily unless someone disagrees with you. Then you take it personally. So yeah, very enigmatic sign. In love, Aquarians are better with other air signs and not so great with water signs. So that's another thing with every sign. You're really great with your own element, not necessarily great with your opposite element. So air signs include Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So those are the best ones to go with for an Aquarius. And then the ones that are going to be a little more challenging, not bad per se, not impossible, but presents challenges that being with another air sign wouldn't. Two communicators do a whole lot better than a communicator of ideas and a communicator of straight up emotion like a water sign. Air signs are intellectual. Air signs are here. Water signs are here. Sometimes these don't play nicely. So that's why an air sign and a water sign aren't really that wonderful together. But it's doable. It's not impossible. So Aquarians, if they don't want the tough road, avoid the Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me for these astrology talks. They make me so happy because literally I'm just sitting here by my favorite bookshelf, listening to the sounds of motorcycles that are being too loud outside, but talking about my favorite thing ever. I love it so much. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm working my way through the signs, so we've made it to Aquarius. The next couple will be out shortly. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, subscribe and become one of our friends on this channel. I still don't know what to call the people that subscribe to this channel. Help, I need a name. But yeah, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button so other people that love astrology can find this video, so I have more people to talk to astrology about. And yeah, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in a video real soon.